It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brood Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. It is Tuesday, February 20th, 2018. It is 7 a.m. and we've got rain.
Yes, we do.
I tell you what, Baxter County has been considered one of the driest counties in the state since, I think this is the first real heavy rain we've had since before Labor Day of 17.
And I don't think it's going to stop
here and
for
there.
a while.
Yeah, well, now they've been posting some flood watches and warnings, and so we're watching the weather pretty close here. In fact, there were some things in Fayetteville I heard of that were canceled because of the heavy rains in northwest Arkansas, but that now moving east, and looks like we're going to have that throughout the day. So, but the rain is welcome.
You know? Hey, you bet you. Fill them ponds up, man. We need it.
Oh, man.
We definitely need the rain, so you can't complain. A little bit of rain goes a long ways right now.
It sure does. I mean, literally, Mr. Henderson, gubernatorial candidate, is going to be our guest today. And literally, I watered my grass in December. It was so dry we had burn bans, but to keep the grass from burning, I watered the grass in December. You've got the Christmas tree in the window, and I'm watering the grass to keep it from burning. That's how dry it's been around here. And that's no joke. But anyway, good morning and welcome to Down on the Corner program. Dale Hoffman, your host, along with Scooter Callis and Jerry Hogan. We're enjoying the rain and the warmer temperatures. And so,
yeah, if it could stay like this temperature-wise for a while, I'll be happy.
Real nice.
I got a feeling that we're not over yet.
Nah.
So.
Anyway.
A weird feeling.
Hope everybody's enjoying Brood Awakening Coffee, as I heard in the introduction. 3 locations to serve you. Balmer Boulevard, BRMC Lobby, and of course 62 East Plaza out by Walmart and Anytime Fitness. Brood Awakening Coffee is the best coffee in town. If you're not drinking Brood Awakening, drinking muddy water. Right, Jerry?
You betcha.
How's it today?
10W30, perfect.
I'm
man.
actually drinking some today. It's
really?
good.
I got him hooked over here.
That's something
I started adding
different
STP.
Today.
It goes down a little easier. You know?
Is that what it is?
It's a little STP, a little motor treatment.
A little firepower.
And we appreciate Mike and his gang for sponsoring the program with Brood Awakening Coffee. And, of course, the morning prayer is brought to you by Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas. With all our respect, Roller Funeral Homes, what a fine company, what a fine family, I should say, across the state that serves the state so well in a time of need. You know, nobody thinks, I think I'm going to shop for a funeral home. You know, you just don't shop for a funeral home. But in the time of need, you choose Roller Funeral Homes across the state of Arkansas, with all our respect. Right?
I still think as tough as that job would be to
It's
know
tough.
that, hey, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. That's a tough road right there.
It really is.
And they do a
Bradley
great-
said it was his calling, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be.
be.
Yeah. Anyway, morning prayer brought to you by Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas. Let's pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, we're so grateful for the rain, and Lord, across our state, we have many that make a living in the agriculture industry, and weather plays a huge part in their success. Lord, I pray you grant your blessings upon the crops grown in the state this year, corn, rice, soybeans, whatever they choose. And then, of course, we have poultry and cattle as well. I pray you bless the work of our farmers, and I pray for their success this season. That's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Morning prayer brought to you by Roller Funeral Homes. With all our respect, Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas. We got an update on Greg Farm Services? What do you got today?
I guarantee today they had their muck boots 25%
There you go.
off. So.
Morning weather brought to you by Greg Farm Services for
Yeah.
all your farm needs. You know,
Nut
see the
boots.
rain. You know,
My daughter's
seed, feed, fertilizer.
Oh, they carry a line. Anything and everything you need, they'll have it over at Greg's.
My daughter's in the FFA, and today they're going to, I know I'll get it wrong, but Cabot or somewhere. And I'm like, what are you going to wear down there? She said, my muck boots. So
There you go.
We got her a pair, and she loves
Down at
them.
Greg Farm Services?
Yeah.
And he was modeling his pants he got
Oh,
from
he's
them the
proud of
other
the
day.
blue
Kind of
jeans,
a
I'll tell
scary
you.
thought, but he was.
I wonder if they'd let me be the new face of Greg's. See my face on the billboards with Shop at Greg's in the background?
White
I
angle
hadn't even
billboard.
considered that. White angle billboard.
We better get to the temperatures, Jerry. Morning weather brought to you by Greg Farm Services. 63 degrees with rain in Mountain Home, 64 at Harrison, showers and thunder showers there. 65 at Hardy, 64 at Mountain View, Arkansas. Yellow checks in at 66, 64 at Marshall. Calico Rock at 63, Poplar Bluff, Missouri on US 67, Southeast Missouri 66 degrees, Southwest Missouri US 65, Branson 63 there, West Plains, Missouri 160, Highway 63 is 66 degrees. Have to tease my boy again. I said, well, it was 57 here. It was minus 22 there yesterday. Watford City, North Dakota, minus 8. Can you imagine welding oil pipes at minus 8 degrees?
No.
Anchorage, Alaska at 25. A lot on the radar.
It's got to take somebody pretty crazy to do that, I'll be honest with you.
Well, you make that kind of money, though, you're going
That's still nuts.
anyway.
Changes the whole physics of welding entirely, I would think.
They do it, though. They can get it done.
I guess they can weld underwater and everywhere else, but that seems mighty cold, man.
Here's your national radar. We got showers in Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas. A lot of shower activity up on the in the Chicago area along Lake Michigan, northern Indiana. As you can see, Arkansas, we've got a line of showers there. We'll hit that Little Rock stop there, Scooter.
Okay.
Ready? Uh-oh. Come on, come on, come on.
Not one to load up, is it?
No, it isn't. Anyway, of course, you can hear the rain on the roof. It's kind of let up here right now. Anyway, shower activity all across the state of Arkansas. All the highways are affected except for 40 East and the southeast corner of Arkansas right now. Uh-oh, lost that connection again over there. We're having some issues with internet this morning because of the storms and stuff going on. Let me see if I can pick it up over here. Anyway, shower activity throughout the state of Arkansas. We've let me pull up channel 3 in Springfield. Excuse me. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm having issues over here too.
Yeah,
so
here we go.
There we go. We're back.
There's a little bit of the radar right there. You can see from Fayetteville to Mountain Home, but a lot of this is moving east-northeast. It's going up towards St. Louis, Carbondale, Illinois, places like that. And looks like on Channel 3's radar out of Springfield, most of our activity right now is east of us, Horseshoe Bend, Cherokee Village, getting a lot of rain, and then to the northwest of Mountain Home. Right?
Sounds good. We need it.
What do you got in community calendar?
All right. Today, man behind the lyrics, Bobby Tomberlin.
That issue?
Yep.
Yep.
Big tonight at 6 o'clock. He's a big-time song dude. Wrote a lot of songs, so get on out there and see him. At the library today at 4:30, you have the scholarship prep, and that's going to be helping people write scholarship essays, strengthen their academic resumes, and track deadlines. One more, Cherokee Village Animal Control Spay and Neuter Clinic today at 8 a.m. It's a low-cost spay and neuter.
Oh, where's it, Cherokee or Hardy?
Cherokee Village.
Cherokee Village, okay.
Yep.
And
At the animal shelter.
I have one here. It is tomorrow, February 21st, blood drive at Baxter Regional Medical Center, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Oh, one more here. Sorry about that. Suzanne sent it. Thursday, the band will host a pancake supper on Thursday, February 22nd at 5 p.m. So.
All right, we're going to take an early break. We've got Jared Henderson here. He's Democrat candidate for governor, state of Arkansas. We want to welcome him to Mountain Home and XL7 TV. Right after the break, we'll be visiting with Mr. Henderson, so stick around. Be right back.
Breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the pie lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Hello, I'm Charles Ferguson. Here at Mountain View Chevrolet, we still do business the old-fashioned way with honesty and integrity. And we have a good inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs from large to small. Our service department has all GM certified technicians, and our friendly salespeople are ready and eager to fit a car truck to your needs in a price range you can afford. We also have a lot full of pre-owned cars and trucks, program and new car trade-ins to choose from. So come see us at Mountain View Chevrolet.
You've tried medications just cover up the pain, and you've tried dieting to help lose weight. Before you try something drastic like surgery to get rid of the numbness and tingling, why don't you try a better approach to health? Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Osgood, and at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we heal the whole person the natural way.
At Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we take a hands-on approach to chiropractic care, massage therapy, and nutritional counseling. Our 20 years of service has led to successful results.
When I come in to see Dr. Osgood, sometimes after one adjustment, I have immediate relief. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 adjustments.
I recommend Mountain Home Family Chiropractic because it really works and keeps me pain-free.
Mountain Home Family Chiropractic supports the community by donating to Mountain Home Food Basket and the Lions Club. Request an appointment with us today at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic. Excellence for your body and frame alignment.
Your White River Getaway starts at Cotter Trout Lodge, where you find convenient, clean, and affordable accommodations right in the heart of Cotter, Arkansas. Take advantage of the Natural State Fly Shop across the road for all your supplies and guided fly fishing needs. Countless delicious homemade menu options await to satisfy your hunger cravings at the White Sands Cafe. Your complete White River Getaway is cradled in the east arm of the historic Ruthven Rainbow Bridge at the Cotter Trout Lodge, Natural State Fly Shop, and the White Sands Cafe.
Hi, I'm
7-Eleven on a did you hear that? 7-Eleven sounds like a store.
That's a gas station.
That's
I'm
a
telling
gas
you.
station. I want to welcome to our show Jared Henderson, candidate for governor of the Democratic Party. Welcome, sir. Good to see you.
Good to be here.
And my pleasure to have you. And I was talking to some friends. They said, "You're going to talk to a Democrat?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "What if you disagree?" I said, "We'll do it respectfully."
Absolutely. We need more of that.
Yeah. So how you been? And welcome to Mountain Home. And where do we start?
Yeah.
Who is Jared Henderson?
Jared Henderson. Yeah. Well, so I was born in Arkansas almost 40 years ago in Little Rock. I grew up in Springdale and went to public schools there, and graduated from the University of Arkansas. And for the last 20 years, first 20 years of my career, I've been doing a lot of things and building a lot of different types of experience. I was a research scientist at NASA for a while. I worked for one of the top business strategy firms in the world, and for the last 6 years, I've been in public education, recruiting and training and supporting teachers in our highest need schools, mostly in the Delta and in southern Arkansas.
You know, when you talk about NASA, my dad, I'm from St. Louis. My dad was at McDonnell Douglas Aircraft Corporation that did a lot of Mercury Gemini programs in the early 60s. And I can remember, the progression of Mercury Gemini into Apollo, which they didn't have that contract.
Yeah.
But I love NASA and what they do. And I think a lot of our technology has come from what we've learned over the last 50, 60 years from NASA.
I agree. It also reminds us as a country and a people what we're capable of. I feel like in so many ways we're having a crisis of confidence right now. We've lost trust that we can do big things. We know we're still capable of it, but I think people on both sides of the political spectrum just see so much nonsense, and it'd be great to get back to the days when we were doing world-changing, leading things.
President Kennedy made that, when did he do that? It wasn't in the inaugural, but it probably turned corner at 62 that he challenged the country to land on the moon and come back.
It was at a speech at American University.
Is that
one of my favorite presidential speeches ever.
And look what we did.
We did it. Less than a decade later, before the microchip was invented, certainly before supercomputers. Is incredible.
Look at Apollo 13, when they're trying to get Apollo 13 back after it exploded halfway to the moon. Yep. They're not using a calculator. They got slide rules in the films, and I mean, thank goodness for NASA.
Yeah, well, and I tell you what, you look at those movies, if you could see what they were doing, 15 years ago when I was there, I literally met men and women that are building rockets that will one day take us to Mars. I've seen their prototypes. It's just extraordinary.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You think we'll make it to Mars? Is that going to be a one-way trip?
If we decide to go, we can go. But
really?
we got to decide it's something that we want to do.
So you're saying if we put our minds to something, we can accomplish that?
Yeah, absolutely. We could have gone a long time ago. The big question in my mind is, will it be a government-led enterprise or a private sector-led enterprise? There's some pretty incredible things going on. I want to say it was 2 weeks ago, SpaceX launched the most powerful rocket in the world and then landed it again.
Yeah.
Didn't
the side booster rockets, they both came back and landed properly?
It's almost surreal to watch. Unbelievable what people are capable of.
Oh, man. Okay, you're going to get the same question that every candidate gets.
Great.
Governor Hutchinson's got this, everybody.
Yeah.
You got a genie in a bottle, you get 3 wishes. You're governor of the state of Arkansas, you've got a genie in a bottle, 3 wishes for the state of Arkansas.
Yeah, great. So my first, I would make Arkansas the best state in the country to be a public school teacher. I think the state and the quality of the teaching profession tells you almost everything you need to know about the strength of your schools.
Yeah.
That's 1. 2, I would make rural Arkansas the best place to open a small business in a small town in the country. And 3, I think that we have a dramatic chance to reduce childhood poverty in this state. We have one of the highest rates, and one of the reasons that we do, and this is an unpopular thing for politicians to talk about, but I've only been a politician for about 43 days, so I don't know any better. But we have the highest teen pregnancy rate in the country.
Really?
We do. It varies year to year, but we're always in the top 2 or 3. And there are a lot of states that have taken this on and done something about it, and I think Arkansas can too, and we can do it in a way that is consistent with local values, which means we're going to need to bring different solutions to the table depending on what communities want, but we at least need to talk about it. We need to do something about it.
Wow. Let's go back to teachers. Back in 2014, I was helping Curtis Coleman with his campaign in the primary, and some research was done. And on the average, 42% of a teacher's day is dealt with paperwork to keep lawyers, the ACLU, and other PACs off their back, so little Jimmy can't determine KAT or CAT, because you can both make the sound of cat, but to sit down one-on-one and the paperwork to file here to here to here, they're discriminating little Jimmy. No, the teacher wants to teach little Jimmy how to read and how to write and how to do it properly. My teacher did it back in St. Clair County, Illinois. Pulled me off to the side. I need you to read these 10 words for me. And if I couldn't, they would sit down one-on-one and teach. So why have we taken so much of their talent and education away and put politics in the place of it?
Oh gosh, you have just put your hand on, I think, one of the most important and solvable pieces of this puzzle. So you gave me 3 wishes and I told you my first one, but that's also what I believe we should set as a goal, and I believe we can make progress. And I think the easiest first thing we can do is roll back some of the paperwork that you're talking about. And I'll give you one concrete example. We have a teacher evaluation system in the state. It is well designed, it is well intended, but we tend to apply it the exact same way to a 20-year national and board certified veteran as we do a rookie struggling in his or her second semester. That's crazy. It's not just taking up time, it is taking up mental energy, it is making teachers feel less respected. And did you know, since the 2010, we've had about a 40% drop in the number of people entering the teaching profession in the state?
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy, and it's unacceptable.
Wow.
Especially in 2018. That's why it has to be one of our priorities, not just to fix the problems, but to actually realize how important and central this profession is, especially in a time like 2018 when the world's changing so quickly, and really make it a priority to make this profession respected and attractive and sustainable again. And part of it starts with just rolling back some things that were well intended but are actually crushing our teachers, to your point.
Well, there's so much, and then a lot of the teachers have to spend a lot of their own money out of their own paycheck to furnish a room or to buy supplies. Well, you've got this amount of money for the year, not month, the year. Now, how do you get by for a whole year? On like $250? That's all we've got.
Yeah, well, and I know it made some big national news when the tax reform in Washington D.C. was being debated, but there was a big controversy because they were capping the deduction for teachers. To me, I'm like, the real outrage, in my opinion, is that we need a deduction at all. And I know we've got to be smart about our money. We absolutely do, and it doesn't grow on trees. However, when I've known enough teachers to know they're not wasting it. They are spending it on basics. That's in the United States of America. We can do better.
We can do better. Wow. Yeah, we definitely have to improve our schools, and with that, I'm going to open Pandora's box and keeping our schools safe.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that gun didn't do the crime. The man in Florida was a mental problem, had a mental problem. We need to address these issues. And how did he get the weapon that he got? We don't know. And I'm sure they're working on that. But did the FBI drop the ball?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, in big institutions that happens sometimes. And my opinion on this, I absolutely believe that a strong look at school safety needs to be part of the answer. When I was going to high school, we had an armed policeman in our school, and he was a great man. He became a friend of the students and was good for the culture in many ways. I will tell you very directly, I don't support the idea of arming teachers. We have asked our teachers not just to be educators, but we've asked them to now be social workers. We've asked them to now address so many of the implications of poverty. We've asked them to be counselors, in some cases psychiatrists. We're not paying them anymore for any of that. Asking them to now be responsible through the defense of their classroom, I think, really puts a lot on them.
And that point is well taken because, when you think of your elementary grades, first, second, third, and perhaps even fourth grade, that teacher has a loving relationship to those kids. Okay, so she's got a 9mm in her purse, or he's got a 9mm on his belt, and you've got an active shooter. Their first instinct now, not response, but their instinct
Following
is
the
to
kids.
mother hen
Yeah.
those kids and protect them, not to go to that person, pull that 9mm and go to shooting.
Right. Right.
It's just.
Well, and I'll just say, of course, I'm pro Second Amendment. I grew up in a family of hunters. If I wasn't pro Second Amendment, I'd have a bigger problem than politics. I'd probably get kicked out of my family. But
There's
I
common
wish
sense with it.
there is, and this is an answer where I wish we have lost the ability to even have a conversation on this. Like, people may or may not agree, let's say, with background checks or things that could keep the guns out of the hands of people that have a history or a clear intent to commit violence. We have trouble even talking about that. We may or may not decide that's the right answer in Arkansas, but boy, it seems like it needs to be on the table, right? Along with the other things we're discussing.
No doubt something has to be done to stop the school violence. They're having the March on Washington on the 24th from the students, and I can't say that I don't blame them, but at the same time, when the Constitution says the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, we have that right.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a 22, had a 44 357. I've got a 1929 Winchester bolt-action single shot
awesome.
that's been in the family for 78 years.
Yeah.
And that's more of a collector's item than a weapon.
Yeah.
And so, but my guns have never hurt anybody.
Yeah.
And I have no intent to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
And, and I've even, when the subject of prison overcrowding came up, I was visiting with Governor Hutchinson. And I said, Governor, has anything been done to look at the psychology or the mental stability of repeat offenders? And I don't think any study, whether governmental or private institution, has, let me back up. Sheriff Montgomery had Channel 3 in Springfield. That's the most watched television news in our area.
Mm-hmm.
It's the NBC affiliate. Sarah Forehouse came down to help him on this report, and she held a paper up to the camera and said, this man has been in and out of prison 58 times.
Yeah.
58 times. And yet he's back on the streets. So where's the evaluation of why he's continuing to do this? Is it meth? Is it cocaine? Is it just a habit? Does he not know better? This is a big issue up here in North Arkansas, prison overcrowding.
Yep. I hear about that almost every place I go to, usually, especially when a sheriff or one of his deputies shows up. It's one of the top three things people talk to me about, the funding levels and just the sheer volume of folks. And what I'm hearing over and over again is that, and it speaks to your point, is, hey, it's time to get creative on some of this stuff. We don't need to do anything radical or foolish, but we need to look at all aspects of how we address this problem, both through law enforcement measures, but also through mental health treatment. Also just looking at some of our laws and what we incarcerate people for right now. So I mean, it's one of many issues that I think really need a fresh approach and a fresh look.
I'm trying to see. We've got a 100-bed jail, and of course there's some flexibility there for female. 86 at Baxter County right now with 100 bed.
Yep.
And probably 4 to 6 of those could not be used, depending on how many females are in there. So, well, you make some good points, And the childhood poverty, Mr. Henderson, I was driving. I've got some family in Nashville, Tennessee, and I travel east of here quite a bit. And I took an alternate route one time. Went up through south of Corning, went Corning, Piggott, and just in that northeast corner.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked, and there's this very rundown building that even had some windows that were not in one piece. And it says, blah, 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 school. I thought, what? And I really just took another look.
Yep.
That was their elementary school.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is what, it was 2015 that I was going through. I thought, am I seeing that school in that bad of shape?
Yeah.
You look at Clay and Randolph and Lawrence counties, and there's, you get in between Paragould and Jonesboro and Corning, Arkansas, there's some poverty in that area.
Yeah. Well, and you're speaking to the state of the physical infrastructure, what's important, but coming back to the state of the teaching profession, I've been in towns in southern and eastern Arkansas that haven't had a high school math teacher apply in a few years. Now, I don't believe that we all that we all deserve a certain outcome in life, but I do believe we all deserve a basic shot at opportunity. And I can tell you what, if you're a child without a high school math teacher, you're at a big disadvantage no matter how hard you work. And in America, we can do better, but we've got to set some really bold goals. We got to stay focused on them. We got to commit ourselves to figuring it out.
So in small business, you go there again. You can go to any town. Go to Calico Rock. You can go to Mountain View. You can look at Mountain Home. We've got some empty buildings here. Go back 46 years ago when I moved here, there was a lot of what we call a mom and pop shop.
Yeah.
You don't see that a lot. It's big box stores, but yet I think mom and pop shops need to survive. They need to thrive.
Yeah. Well, and I think
how do we bring them back?
I think in some ways we need to revitalize them because, we were talking about this before we came on. It is no exaggeration that the last 20 years, I think, have been the most dynamic, rapid, and expansive period of economic change in human history. And I believe we're probably only 20 years into a 40 or 50 year spike of that, right? And we know that some of the things that are still employing a lot of people right now are going to be gone in 10 or 15 years. We don't necessarily know what's going to replace them. One of the things that I think we can and should do in our rural communities is invest in knocking down the barriers to small business creation. So I've been all over some of the smallest towns in the state, and in every one I've been in, I found hardworking people that have the courage and the initiative and the vision to start a small business, whether it's a barbershop or a lawn care business or you name it, right? What they usually don't have is $5,000 or $10,000 in just basic startup capital. They don't have access to health care while their family takes the risk. And they usually lack the first just 15 or 20 hours of very basic business training that can give you a fighting shot.
Oh, yeah.
We could do all that.
Yeah,
and if you did that, you could see some things build up from the bottom up. And what I really like about this idea is that it'll translate across communities and across time. Because, for all the change that we're experiencing, I can tell you, someone who's done a lot of work in business and runs a small business with my wife, 80% of what you need to know and the connections you need to have to start a small business now, that'll be what you need in 10 or 20 years. The fundamentals are not going to change on that. There'll be some things on the margins that do, but we should invest in that. Let's create a context where Arkansans can succeed.
Well, good point. Well, let's see, 7:27. Let's go ahead and take that break. Come on, 727 Vision with Jared Henderson, candidate for governor, Democratic Party. More with Mr. Henderson right after this quick break. Be right back.
Hi, I'm Ricky with Arch Trash Pickup. If anybody needs trash service in the area, please give us a call. Arch Trash Service is veteran owned, and I've been in the local area resident for over 20 years. I'll provide a better service than the other guys and even provide front door service trash pickup for those that aren't able to take their trash to the curb. We'll also pick up almost anything and even provide free recycling. I am Ricky with Arch Trash Pickup, and please give me a call for all your trash service needs.
With a large showroom of over 13,000 square feet, the Furniture Depot is your local choice for quality name brand furniture at prices anyone can afford. They carry a great selection of catnapper recliners, power recliners with lumbar support and lift chairs. Check out Furniture Depot's variety of living room and dining room sets in various styles and designs. And don't forget about their mattress gallery featuring Serta, Symbol mattresses, and adjustable beds. Family owned and operated, that's Furniture Depot, located in the Ozark Shopping Center in Mountain Home.
Life is too short to wear boring clothes. Welcome to Shabby to Chic Salon and Boutique, where we carry the latest trends and fashions and accessories at prices anyone can enjoy. Feel beautiful while looking fabulous with a large range of fashions that fits anyone's sense of style. You're sure to discover something unique and new at every visit. Shabby to Chic also features 12 professional stylists, aesthetics by Amy J, a nail technician, and 4 tanning beds. Excite your style at Shabby to Chic Salon and Boutique in Mountain Home.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the Mountain Home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
It's coming up on 7:30 on this 20th day of February. A lot of rain in the state, and we're visiting with Jared Henderson, Democrat candidate for governor. Can we pull up that Facebook page, Scooter, and put that on so people can see the Facebook page if they want to take a look and see? There it is. Jared Henderson, governor of Arkansas. Where'd you take that picture of that crop? Where's that taken? That's pretty neat.
You know, a member of my team found that.
Really?
And to be honest with you, I don't know. But
Really?
yeah, it really speaks to me. I don't know. Just it was warm and sign of hope and new ideas.
Yep. And so, you know, the morning prayer talked about the agriculture, and I'll be honest with you. I applaud Governor Hutchinson for what he did with the rice crop and getting that into Cuba. And of course, right now, the issue is Cuba is still credit or cash only, no credit, and they're trying to work that through Washington. I don't know where that status is right now, but if they go on a credit basis, it's really going to be an economic boom for Northeast Arkansas, that rice crop. Because I know of a lot of cotton fields that I've passed by between Paragould and Corning and Kennett, Missouri, cotton fields that were converted over to rice.
Yep.
And it's amazing what that did. And so what agri across state, poultry is strong, cattle is strong, rice, soybeans. In fact, in 2014, a couple of the farms were boasting 101 bushels an acre of soybeans, and I think 102 point something bushels per acre.
Yep.
That was a record crop that year.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when I talk earlier about making Arkansas the best place to be a teacher, the best place to start a small business, you know, that comes from just, as an Arkansan and as someone who lived out of the state for a handful of years and got to see it from the outside in, this state, when we set real goals, we are capable of world-class achievement. We have built some of the most incredible businesses in the world from the ground up. Our farmers, to your point, feed a huge portion, not just of the country, but of mankind. You know, we produce incredible people. That's part of what gives me hope and optimism about what the next chapter can look like.
Yeah. Yeah. Weren't we exporting some beef or something to China? Weren't there some beef exports coming out of Arkansas?
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know.
I thought I heard something on it, but I'm not sure. So I better leave that subject alone until I can research a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, I'm the same way. You know, one of the things that I'm doing early in this campaign is getting everywhere. You know, I'm introducing myself to people, but I'm making sure that I listen at least as much as I talk, because, I mean, there's a lot to learn for any figure that's aspiring to an office like this. But we've also got a rich and diverse state, you know, economically, culturally. And I've found that if you go into communities and you really listen to people with respect and humility, they'll tell you 85 or 95% of what they need from government, both extra help and ways they need to get out of the way. And so that's part of what I'm doing to try to build a strong platform.
You know, you look at Southeast Arkansas, and I look at the area where Johnny Cash, the singer, was born. And the economic poverty there, when you have to go to such extremes to rebuild and refurbish that house just to bring people in, to bring a cash flow into that county.
Yeah.
And I love Johnny Cash. I've got all of his records. You know, I just love, and my son loves Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
But, you know, and that part of Arkansas is, you know, it's not the richest place in the world, and there's not a lot of people retiring to Dyess, Arkansas.
Yep.
What do we do?
Yeah.
I mean, what do we do? I mean, can you put industry down there? I know you got, what is it, Big River or Nucor Steel at Osceola, and that's a pretty thriving business there in Northeast Arkansas. But you get south of there about another 150 miles, you're hurting.
Yeah, you are. I mean, it goes back to what we were talking about the period of change that we're living in, and communities like that have suffered from it far more than other places. You know, and I'll be direct with you. You know, I've talked to, you know, people all over the state. I've talked to some of the finest minds in the world, and it's a hard problem, right?
It is.
And I'm not going to sit here and act like I've got a 20-point A to Z blueprint, but I can tell you that the ideas that we're talking about strengthening public education and teachers, about small business development, and about addressing poverty do help the fundamentals there, right? And they give kids a fighting shot, either to find creative ways to start small business and industry there, or to realize their full potential so that they can do what they want in life, whether it's staying and working on the farm, staying for one of the local businesses that are there, or doing something else. And you know, I think that, frankly, like I said, I have almost no limits in my mind on what opportunity can look like for Arkansans, you know, when my son is an adult. But we've got some hard work to do over the next 10 years, and I'm not going to paper over that. We do, and we've got to invest in big, bold goals that affect the fundamentals of the opportunity that our kids develop.
Okay, my $35 question. I get in my vehicle. I've got an '02 Chrysler. It's got 203,000 miles. I paid sales tax on it when I bought it. I pay a title fee for buying it. I pay a license fee for license it. I have to register it with the county assessor so they can tax it for owning it. Then I pay an income tax, a personal property tax, a real estate tax. Tax. If I got a horse, I pay a tax. In Arkansas, if you own a horse, you pay a tax for owning a horse, a tractor, a trailer, a boat, a trailer.
Yep.
You know, I'm with George Harrison. You're going to tax the air I breathe? I mean, come on.
Yep.
You know, what can we do? And you're all about new ideas.
Yeah.
And, you know, I jump on that boat in the New York Minute, and I showed you my idea with the debit card. 5 cents a swipe. Dale wants a new tax? No, I want to eliminate 3 of them with 1.
Right.
You know, I'm not saying add a tax. I'm saying let's work to at least get rid of income tax.
Yep.
I think that's unfair.
Yeah.
I mean, literally in this area for our blue collar people, if they were to have $100 more in their paycheck a week, most generally they're going to spend 50% of that extra money.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Maybe a new pair of jeans, a new pair of boots, clothes for the kids. Who knows? But the more money that we have flowing through the basics of our economy, the stronger it builds.
Yeah.
Correct or incorrect?
Yeah, no, I agree. And the big trick, especially in, again, a state with high poverty, is how do we do that and also meet the basic needs, especially for kids, right? And you know, I don't have, you know, 10 ideas yet that could actually get creative and reform the tax code to the level you're talking about, but I think we can look at it. The good thing about the world that we're living in, and I'm looking at your computer screen right now, if you and I spent the next hour together, we could find 6 more good ideas that have been tested in 3 dozen places around the world that we could see how they would apply. And if we could bring that into our political system in a thoughtful way, where you didn't get accused of raising taxes and I didn't get accused of trying to, you know, micromanage enterprise, we could make progress, right? And so I think, you know, that's part of why I'm getting into this is I look at our political system from Washington on down and I'm just like, we need new ideas, and we just need we need folks who are not foolish and understand, you know, that actions and ideas have consequences, but who reject these tired political frameworks that tell us you can't talk about certain issues or that you can't. I just don't accept that. I've been in, you know, different industries for the last 20 years, and all of them, you just figure out how you can solve problems. You sit down to a table and you argue it out. You know, the only other thing I'll say about this, and again, I'm tying it back to my earlier idea, is I think one of the other keys about lowering Arkansas's tax rates and truly making them competitive is solving some of our underlying problems. So if you look at our expenditures as a state, the single biggest, or the second biggest line item in what we pay is Medicaid. You know, health insurance for people in or a little bit above poverty. A lot of that is children. Boy, if we could really do what some other states have done to radically reduce childhood poverty by reducing pregnancy, we would have less need for those expenditures. And then we could have a much more fun debate about, well, maybe we do lower tax for these folks, or maybe we actually invest in pre-K to lower it even more. You know, those are good, healthy, exciting debates to have about our future.
What about our spending? Our spending habits? Is spending in Arkansas out of control?
You know, it depends on where you look, and I'm kind of getting smart on all the aspects of our budget right now. I've never seen a state or local government, and let's not even talk about the feds, where there aren't opportunities to do better, right? There are, and I think that one of the keys to getting that is having government and state agencies that is really focused around goal setting and goal achievement, rather than just managing compliance to law and paperwork. You know, when I was you know, in business, I worked for a number of state agencies around the country, and what I found is that, you know, whether you were in a Department of Education or a Department of Health, there were good people in a lot of those places, you know, people that wanted to do good, but without even realizing it, they were just managing like people's compliance to paperwork rather than saying, how do we get goals achieved? How do we increase learning? How do we increase health? And when you have those goals, you actually also think about how do we do more with less, just like you do in a business. And I think, you know, as governor and state agencies, I would want to shift us to more of an outcomes-focused government than one that's just focused on managing compliance.
I'll tell you where some of my issues are, and I'm going to step on a lot of toes here, and somebody's going to be throwing spit wads at me, you know, when we get down to the restaurant. But I have a problem when I see people like Nick Saban and the football coaches in Arkansas, and you can pull up the highest paid people. University of Arkansas, highest paid state employee is the football coach, and the second highest paid state employee is the basketball coach. Okay, they say they are state employees, and between the two, you're looking at almost $5 million of our money going to pay these guys. But yet you've got probably 50,000 kids at Fayetteville that's going to be in debt, and you've probably been right there with school loans that you're still paying on and probably will for the next 15, 20 years. If they're a state employee, why are they charging tuition? If these schools around here are state-funded schools, and I can go to put my kid in a public school free of charge, yet spend $150,000 over 4 or 5 or 6 year period. But yet we're paying football coaches 2, 3, and Nick Saban's about $10 million now in Alabama. Where's our priorities? Education or football? And don't get me wrong, I mean, we all love football. Yeah. And you go to St. Louis Cardinals or go to Kansas City, you're looking at 9 millionaires standing in that field.
Yep. I mean, I agree, and I'm just like, the house I grew up in was 10 minutes from Razorback Stadium. I love the Hogs, and I want to win more. I do.
Yeah.
But I also, I've had that same reflection, surely there's a way to.
And they said, well, a lot of it comes from TV revenues. That's fine and dandy.
Yeah.
And some of it comes from the foundation. But the fact of the matter is, when that newspaper, the Arkansas Democrat, once a year puts out all the salaries, the top two, Arkansas football coach and Arkansas basketball coach, that's the 2 highest paid state employees.
By a wide margin, I believe.
And I think it comes down to DHS director and then Department of Education. I think that's the top 4.
Yeah.
But it drops from a couple of million down to 200,000 to 300,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, in Johnny Key's position, I wouldn't, he can have that job.
Yeah.
That's a tough job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think what you're putting your finger on is really the mindset with which we approach things, right? And I think that, again, if we look at, let's take public education, for instance, if we are really, really serious about building a system that gets kids to and through college or prepares them for good local technical jobs or gives them the critical thinking ability to be competitive for jobs that don't even exist yet, which we've got to do for any kid that's 18 or 20 years old, because the world they're going to live in 30 years is going to be completely different than the one now. We've got to have a different orientation how we think about this. I feel like when we think about national defense for the country, right? Like we spend what it takes to have Head and Shoulders the best the system, and we should.
Yeah.
And I do not believe that we should. The answer is just let's just sit down and triple education funding or anything. We got to be smart, and there is waste. Period. Right? But we should start with an orientation that we are going to get this right. We are going to give every kid a fair shot to reach their full potential, and we're going to recognize that if we get that right, we'll all be better off for it. And so it's a mindset shift that I think will have us being more creative, more thoughtful, and more rigorous on our expenditures with our system.
Another thought comes to mind on the university status. My second boy met his wife in Fayetteville, married. They live there, doing fine. She's pre-med, pediatrics, and is going to move on later on, looking for that medical school. But you're looking at a boy that's going to be 28 years old in July, and the debt that's already accrued. They haven't bought their house yet, and they don't have a child yet. But yet, you're looking at a couple of $100,000. They have to have 2 cars. One goes one way, one goes the other. My son may go to work at 5 a.m.
Yep.
She may go to work at 8 a.m.
Yep.
She may get home at 7. He may get home at 4. He may get, and so you've got to have 2 vehicles. So you're looking at even a used vehicle going to be $7,000 a piece. So we've got 30-year-olds in massive debt.
Yeah.
Because of education, and how do we cut that cost? I mean, I'm not trying to slam U of A or University or A-State. The education is needed. It's a have to. But the cost and the debt incurred is staggering in some of these areas.
Yes, it is. Well, and again, with that is one example that goes back to the bigger point we talked about a few times, which is how much the world has changed. So right alongside college tuition, I think the one thing that's probably increased even more is the cost of healthcare, right? And that's if you're healthy, even your premiums there. And so, when you take someone who's 30 or 33 and younger, right? People like to give the millennials a hard rap, and in some ways, like every other generation before them, they earn some of that. But some of that, they also bring great strengths and gifts to the table. What's also true about them, and you're giving one great example of it, the world and the economy they're living in is just so different than the one before. You know, if your son's 28 and, you know, folks a few years older than him, they came out of college right during or right after the Great Recession started. And on top of that, their tuition, their health care has gone up, their wages haven't gone up very much at all. And of course, they're going to be looking at our system, asking some pretty fundamental questions. And it's part of why I'm getting in as well. Like, even where I don't have all the answers, we have got to get past some old debates, just some pure big government, small government, and say, what can government do? What should it not do? How does that work alongside not just our dynamic private sector, but this incredible nonprofit sector that's been built the last 25 years? Some of the most incredible minds of the last generation have actually gone into nonprofit agencies, and there's a lot to learn from those. And it just calls for a new philosophy of how we actually think about government and the role it plays alongside other institutions.
Visit with Jared Henderson, Democrat candidate for governor, state of Arkansas. Time for a quick break. Be right back.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Coming in 2018, DHF Archery Range, brought to you by DeerHunterFan.com TV and SteadyForm. This 10,000 square foot indoor climate-controlled archery range will feature 3D targets, 3D pop-up, and state-of-the-art video shooting. DHF Archery Range will be open to the public and available for all ages. It's a great facility for hunters and archers alike and located in the center of the Ozarks in beautiful Bull Shoals, Arkansas. That's DHF Archery Range, coming in 2018. Keep on the lookout for more details and their grand opening announcement soon. More than just propane, Reeves Propane provides you full-service propane delivery as well as tank and piping installation. We are your dependable choice, offering the very best in personal service with on-time deliveries and competitive prices. Reeves Propane also sells and installs tankless water heaters and appliances and can even convert your gas cook stove to liquid propane. So no need to fuss and cuss about bad service. Call us at Reeves Propane. We greatly appreciate your business and God bless. If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the pie lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Hello, I'm Charles Ferguson. Here at Mountain View Chevrolet, we still do business the old-fashioned way with honesty and integrity. And we have a good inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs from large to small. Our service department has all GM certified technicians, and our friendly salespeople are ready and eager to fit a car truck to your needs in a price range you can afford. We also have a lot full of pre-owned cars and trucks, program and new car trade-ins to choose from. So come see us at Mountain View Chevrolet.
You've tried medications just cover up the pain, and you've tried dieting to help lose weight. Before you try something drastic like surgery to get rid of the numbness and tingling, why don't you try a better approach to health? Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Osgood, and at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we heal the whole person the natural way.
At Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we take a hands-on approach to chiropractic care, massage therapy, and nutritional counseling. Our 20 years of service has led to successful results.
When I come in to see Dr. Osgood, sometimes after one adjustment, I have immediate relief. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 adjustments.
I recommend Mountain Home Family Chiropractic because it really works and keeps me pain-free.
Mountain Home Family Chiropractic supports the community by donating to Mountain Home Food Basket and the Lions Club. Request an appointment with us today at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic. Excellence for your body and frame alignment.
7:50 on this 20th day of February, and we'll hit on this question real quick. Our good friend Bruce Emerson's talking about overall the ADEQ, the CNH hog farm, and Mr. Henderson, you said that you've talked to one side of it but haven't researched all the way on the other side. So, and you've only been in this race, what, 43 days?
Something like that.
So we need to give you a little bit more time to do a little research. And
Yeah.
so Bruce Emerson, our good friend, asked this question concerning the CNH hog farm. You know, and I'm going to say that Mr. Henderson hasn't had time yet to fully research 100% of this, but you have talked to some of the environmental issues on it.
I've run into some of those folks, yeah, and I know there's a ton of concern about this. You know, the first email I got about it was just shortly after I started the campaign. And of course, without the context, I thought it was a pretty random issue, but I've since heard a lot about it, and I'm working with my team to get smart on it. You know, the issues that he raised, you know, there is a tension between private property rights, between the livelihood and well-being of farmers, and also just the, you know, the environmental welfare, particularly for the Buffalo River, which is, you know, is a treasure in many ways. And so, you know, my commitment here is I'm going to study this issue, and I'm going to get smart on it before I make an opinion on it.
And so I'll invite Bruce to, we'll have you back. I hope you come back.
Love to.
And so, you know, and Bruce, all due respect, we'll get the question answered for you from this standpoint.
Yep.
If you were to write a book, I know you're a lot younger than me, would your book be funny or serious?
I would need some help to make it funny as much as I would love to.
Because you're well educated. I mean, you've worked with NASA, and didn't you do business school at Harvard?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
And so, you know, you've been in the Northeast, you've been in the South, you've been all over. So would your book be funny? Would it be interesting? Would it be serious? How would you approach a book?
I'd probably write it with a few other people to make it insightful, but also funny. You know,
leave the college stuff out?
Well, you know, I mean, I'm getting into this because I believe government can and should play a constructive role in creating more opportunity, both by, you know, initiating certain things, but also by knowing when to stay out of the way. And I'm running not because I want to be governor, but because I believe that being governor gives you the opportunity to really promote and push opportunity for a lot of people in a lot of ways. Now, having said that, I've also learned in my experience that you can have serious goals. You can live a life that is pursuing serious things while also not taking yourself too seriously, you know? And so I think we all do better when we can strike that balance between, hey, let's talk about what needs to be talked about, but let's also recognize that we're human beings. Let's have as much fun and levity as we can with it. So I would try to mix it with both, but I'd need some help.
Hypothetical situation, you're elected governor, but
Yep.
you have the same legislative body that's in place now. Everybody's reelected, so you've got a majority of Republicans, but yet you've got to bring Democrats in too, and you've got a problem to solve both with Democrats and Republicans, and you're at the negotiating table. If Republicans had a better idea than Democrats, would you be willing to go with the better idea or side with the party? At the same token, if the Democrats had the better idea over the Republicans, could we get that idea that's better for Arkansas? Because in my opinion, a broken clock is right twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I take the battery out of that clock, and this time tomorrow or this time tonight, it's going to be correct.
Yeah.
Battery or not. So when in the inset, when you walked in the door, we got to talk about this. Why are you Democrat? Because you said you think that we can sit down as two political parties and come together with a series of ideas.
Yeah, well, I think whether it's in business or government or anything else, you need at least two strong sides pushing each other to be better and making sure that there's a robust debate on any issue that looks at things from all sides. Having said that, I am running as a Democrat, but I'm not a career politician. I've done things that I'm proud of. I've had leadership accomplishments in multiple fields in the first 20 years of my career, but I am not beholden or emotionally tied to the positions of a party. I want to make progress for people, you know. And
because in my opinion, I see too many decisions. Well, I'm gonna pick on my own party, the Republican Party.
Yeah.
Okay, they're sticking with party lines,
Mhm.
but that may not be what we need in the state or in the country.
No,
So
it's-
let's discuss it. What's the better idea? What's better for America? What's better for Arkansas? Or if you're in Missouri, you're in Missouri.
Absolutely. Well,
know.
and I think that the two big ways we go about that are, one, we need to come to the table with that spirit, but two, let's also look at the things that are really important to our future that actually aren't partisan. You know, when I talk about making teaching more attractive or creating in a context where people in, you know, Dumas or Blytheville or Helena or Mountain Home or wherever can start small business, why is that a Democrat or Republican thing? Right? Like, we ought to be able to come together and do those things.
You know, I think what we're seeing right now, and I'll pick more the national than the state, because I think the state's under control, but too much. When Democrats and Republicans come to the table to negotiate, they're going to battle.
Yeah.
They're going to fight. They're not going to resolve. They're going to fight.
Yep.
And I think we need to look at more resolve and fights.
Can I say one other thing on that too?
All yours?
You know, and then again, my first 40 some odd days here of this. There are a lot of things, even as a new political candidate, that there are so many people, and I know this is true on the right and the left, that want you to pick fights, that want you to make a spectacle. And let's get real with ourselves. I'll just speak for myself. We tend to pay a little bit more attention when it's rowdy and there's a fight than we do when it's calm and measured and thoughtful. And we need, now more than ever, we need more people that really want sane, constructive government to lean in and to pay attention and to vote those folks into office. I will tell you, you know, regardless of what people think about, you know, either party or what's going on in Washington right now, there is going to be in Arkansas and elsewhere a new generation of people that are running this year for all sorts of offices. And they may have this party label or that, but underneath it all, they are educators, they are scientists, they are doctors, they are parents that have been paying attention for a few decades. They are going to give voters a fresh choice. People need to look beyond party label and listen to what people are saying. If they do, I think they're going to find some attractive candidates and a new choice to make.
Good point. And real quick, I've got a couple minutes here right after the program. We get done at 8 o'clock. Mr. Henderson and I myself are going to head on over to Old Time Restaurant on the square in Mountain Home, where we have a meet and greet for him there at the restaurant. We have some people invited. Hopefully they can make it with this rain. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, things change. But come on over to Old Time Restaurant on the square in Mountain Home. Be there for about an hour or so and visit. Final thoughts. Take a look at those cameras so people can get a good look, and just your final thoughts. How much time we got here? About 2 minutes?
Yeah.
About 2 minutes. And tell folks all about you.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in this state. I've spent a bit of time outside of it looking in, and I believe that we have incredible untapped potential in this state. I think we also have a rich and impressive history, whether it's in business or agriculture, athletics or culture, that just proves that this state's capable of incredible things. But we need leadership that really is invested in setting bold goals that unlock opportunity for everyone in this state. And I think that hits education, it hits small business development, it hits poverty, and it does touch on healthcare. And I'm running to provide some fresh ideas and fresh perspective and a tone that is respectful and candid, but also, when necessary, fierce and unapologetic about the things that I believe in and the ideas that I think we need to fight for. And so I hope that people will pay attention to this candidacy and some of the other new faces that are entering politics on either side of the aisle, because people are going to have a fresh choice this year.
How do you like running a 75-county campaign?
You know, I actually love it. It's
Really?
You meet really different people in different parts of the state, but when you really shake someone's hand and look them in the eye and what they care about, you almost always hear an interesting story. You almost always hear a thoughtful perspective. You know, some of the funniest conversations I've been in have started out with, "You're a Democrat? I don't want to talk to you." I lean in with those folks, and I find that we have a lot in common.
Thought we had another minute.
Oh, wait, we do. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong. Oh, look at the wrong.
Clean your glasses, Scooter.
He's tired of me. He's ready for me to drive on out of here. I said something wrong.
Yeah, you said Democrat.
I did.
You know, I got to tease you about that.
Of course.
I tell you what, Jared Henderson, our guest today, Democrat candidate for governor. Jerry, you're over there pondering.
Dude, I've just been listening.
Yep.
Yeah. And you give me 30 seconds, okay? I have
well,
a
less than that. You're down about 15.
10-part question here.
We'll have Mr. Henderson back sometime. How's that?
Okay.
I would be happy to come back.
Thank you, sir, for being our
It's
guest
been
today.
fun.
Rainy day in North Arkansas, and so we got to wrap it up. Back tomorrow.
Stay tuned for Jim Bumgardner up next.